वहरे कारीगर साज बनाए, वहरे कारीगर साज बनाए, कुन फाया कुंजे कुन मेला, कुन फाया कुंजे कुन मेला, महबूब गुलहेडस मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेडस मन मेला।
सिंधी ॿोली ओताक में तव्हां सभिनी जो स्वागत आहे। अॼु मूंखे ॾाढी ख़ुशी आहे त असां शाह अब्दुल लतीफ़ जे हिकु ट्रांसलेशन जे बारे में ॻाल्हाईंदासीं, जंहिंजी ट्रांसलेटर आहे अंजू माखीजा, जिन दादा हरी दिलगीर सां गॾु थी करे हिकु शाह जे रसाले मां शेर खणी करे उन में ट्रांसलेशन कयो आहे। ॿ को ट्रांसलेटर आहिनि, अंजू माखीजा ऐं दादा हरी दिलगीर। त असां उन किताब जे बारे में ॻाल्हाईंदासीं ऐं उन किताब मां पढ़ंदासीं। ट्रांसलेशन इंग्लिश में आहे, त असां इंग्लिश में बि ॿुधंदासीं ऐं कोशिशि कंदुसि त मां तव्हांखे थोरो सिंधीअ में बि ॿ टे शाइरियूं पढ़ी ॿुधायां शाह जूं जेके आहिनि कविताऊं। पर उन खां पहिरीं इहो मूंखे ॾाढी ख़ुशी आहे त दादा दिलगीर जेके हाणे त सुर्गवास थी विया आहिनि, हिकु अज़ीम शख़्सियत हुआ सिंधी साहित्य जी, कला जी ऐं सोशल वर्कर बि हुआ। हुननि ॾाढो एड्यूकेशन में कमु कयो। त दादा हरी दिलगीर पाकिस्तान मां जॾहिं आया त आदिपुर कच्छ में वञी रहिया ऐं उते उन्हनि तोलाणी फाउंडेशन खे बर्पा करण में ॾाढी वॾी मदद कई। पर असां अॼु जंहिं संदर्भ में ॻाल्हाए रहिया आहियूं, जंहिं कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ॻाल्हाए रहिया आहियूं, उन में मां चाहींदुसि त असां इहो नोट कयूं त दादा हरी दिलगीर पंहिंजो पाण में हिकु वॾी शख़्सियत हुआ, साहित्यिक पर्सनालिटी हुआ। हुननि जो जेको साहित्यिक रचना आहे तमामु वसीह आहे। हुननि कविताऊं लिखियूं, ॿारनि जे लाइ गीत लिखिया ऐं कहाणियूं लिखियूं, मज़मून लिखिया ऐं केतिरनि ई लेखकनि खे ऐं कलाकारनि खे हिमथायो ऐं मदद कई पंहिंजी ज़िंदगीअ में। त अहिड़ा असांजा बानीकार हुआ साहित्य जा श्री हरी दिलगीर दरियाणी, ऐं उन्हनि सां अंजू माखीजा खे कमु करण जो मौक़ो मिलियो, सदभाग्य आहे उन्हनि जो। ऐं अंजू पाण बि हिकु वॾा लिटरेरी फिगर आहिनि। हुननि खे साहित्य अकेडमी जे तरफ़ां हिन ई किताब जे ट्रांसलेशन ते इनाम मिलियलु आहे। अंजू हिकु अवॉर्ड विनिंग राइटर आहे, पोएट, प्लेरिट ऐं ट्रांसलेटर। And Anju has written for 4 poetry collections, including View from the Web and Pickling Season, co-translated Freedom and Fissures and Seeking the Beloved, the mystical verse of Shah Abdul Latif, co-edited 3 anthologies related to women, Indo-English theatre and children's poetry. Her collection of drama, Mumbai Traps, collected plays is widely available. ऐं हिन वक़्तु उन्हनि जी जेका लेटेस्ट बुक आहे उहा आहे चेंजिंग एंड अनचेंजिंग, न्यू एंड सिलेक्टेड पोएम्स, जेके 1995 खां वठी 2023 ताईं संदन जेके कविताऊं लिखियल आहिनि अंग्रेजीअ में, उन्हनि जो ही हिकु कलेक्शन आहे। Anju has won several awards, including the Sahitya Academy English Translation Prize, the All India Poetry Competition, the BBC World Regional Poetry Prize, and the Charles Wallace Trust Fellowship. She has been on the English Advisory Board of the Sahitya Academy New Delhi for 5 years and is the co-founder of Pondicherry Auroville Poetry Festival. Anju is also a member of the G100 India World Peace Organization. Currently, she is translating the works of Sindhi Sufi poet Sachal Sarmast and is in the process of writing Minor Voices, highlighting the experiences of underprivileged youth. ऐं अंजू सोशल मीडिया ते काफ़ी एक्टिव आहे, तव्हां उन्हनि खे ॾिसी सघंदा फेसबुक ते, इंस्टाग्राम ते, ऐं संदन कम बि ॾिसी सघंदा। सो अंजू, तव्हांजो स्वागत आहे सिंधी ॿोली ओताक में। मूंखे ख़बर आहे असां अॼु अंग्रेजी में था पढ़ूं त केतिरा दफ़ा अंग्रेजीअ में बि ॻाल्हाईंदासीं, दैट इज़ फाइन। ऐं मूंखे ॾाढी ख़ुशी आहे त तव्हां सिंधी ॿोली ओताक में पंहिंजे को ट्रांसलेशन शाह अब्दुल लतीफ़ जो जेको रसालो आहे उन मां सिलेक्शन कयो आहे ट्रांसलेशन, ऐं असां सां उन बारे में थोरो ॻाल्हाईंदा अॼु ऐं पढ़ंदा बि उन रसाले मां तव्हां पंहिंजूं। पर शुरूआति में तव्हां जेकॾहिं शाह अब्दुल लतीफ़ जे बारे में, संदन किताब जे बारे में, रिसाले जे बारे में, ऐं तव्हांजे पंहिंजे किताब जी जर्नी कीअं रही ही राइट करण जी, को ट्रांसलेट करण जी, उन जे बारे में जेकॾहिं तव्हां ॿुधाईंदा त सुठो लॻंदो.
Hello, Devendra, and thank you so much for inviting me. And it's always a pleasure to talk about Shah Abdul Latif. And I guess this book, you will show the book, I'm sure. But this book came out in 2005. That's quite some time back. It's almost 2 decades. And what is really gratifying, surprising, and if I might use a stronger word, astonishing, it is still in print, and the reprints just keep on coming. There's a steady demand and a consistent kind of a demand from all over the world. And I'm very happy because as Sindhis, we are proud of Shah Abdul Latif and all our other poets. And to see it get this kind of response is really, really satisfying. It is still available in bookstores, online with Katha, who are the publishers, Amazon, all the usual places. So I'm very happy it's been there for so long and has a life of its own. Now, you spoke of Hari Dilgir, and to me, Hari Dilgir is everything. I shouldn't say was, he is everything. I believe the soul. I believe in the soul, and I hope we all do, because he was everything to me. And I was telling you earlier how we met. We had interacted briefly when we were translating a book called Freedom and Fishers. Yeah. And it was an anthology of partition poetry. So at that point, we had included poems of Dilgir as well. And it was really a pleasure to read those poems, of course. So when I went to this Adipur seminar, we met personally. And he just came up to me. He was a little smallish. Not that I'm very tall, but and he told me, would you like to translate Shah Abdul Latif? And I think you should. Mm-hmm. Now, as I said, I was the unlikely candidate because I just come back from Canada. My Sindhi was not so good.
Yeah,
I understand it. And now I think I even speak a bit. But I think more importantly was he showed us certain trusts.
Yeah.
And when there is trust, there is life.
Yes.
And then too, I was so hesitant. And then finally I said, okay, let me think about it. And then I met another delegate there, and he said, why are you worrying so much? Shah Latif is love. Simple. Wow. So I thought such a positive statement, and I should take it up. My intuition said yes. Okay. So I took it up. And then what followed was 5 years of, as you know very well, Dilgir corresponded via postcards.
Yeah, so this was world before internet and mobile phones and everything. So it's a great story. Please tell us about that correspondence in postcards.
Yeah. We were talking earlier and I was only telling him old stories. But today I said I'll keep my stories to myself. But this is very good. So every Tuesday he told me that he will send and you send back by Friday. I said, okay, fair enough. And we did that on little postcard with his very neat handwriting. And when I sent it back to him, he checked it and sent it back again the next week. And it went like that for 5 years. And it was a joy because I've said this in the introduction of the book, that not a single postcard got lost.
Wow.
Amazing. And now you can see how much we struggle to get ourselves understood, to get us to communicate.
Have you got the postcards still with you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a treasure. We should keep it.
Yeah, we should go back to it actually.
Great.
So let me get back. I like telling stories as everybody does.
Yeah.
So these are the many stories about this book. And not only about me and Dilgir, also about Shah Latif. His life was so full of stories. And I'll tell you one more maybe. Okay, now let me get to the introduction. Shall I start?
Yes, you please tell us about Shah Latif now and
yeah.
Salo.
Now Shah Latif was 1689 to 1752, for those who don't know his dates. And we know that he's been called the Shakespeare of Sindh. Okay? And he's also been aptly called the people's poet, revered by the elite and the common folk. Rare thing, revered by the common folk and the elite. He remains one of the greatest Sufi poets in history, along with Rumi, who was 1207, and the likes of Mir Dad. Now, often chanted in spiritual seances, Latif's poems have an immediate emotional appeal. They are about the love for humanity and love for the divine. And what really interested me is they depict the seeker's direct relationship with God. And we know how many in-betweens are there nowadays.
Yeah.
No in-betweens. And direct relationship. And that was really marvelous to see in his verses.
Yeah.
So his verses are recited today, as they have been for almost 300 years. And Urs is held annually at Shah, where the poet was read. I think some of you may have been to that Urs. I don't know if you have been.
Yeah, Urs जेको आहे, they celebrated Shah je bhit te in Sindh. But also you mentioned about Sufi tasawwuf जेको उन्हनि जे poetry में आहे. There is Sufism, but also there's a lot of influence of Vedantic thought in that, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Tremendous. In fact, what the publisher's blurb says, he combined Vedantic and Islamic traditions. And as we know from history, that was not easy at all. Islam was what it was, Islam, and Vedanta was what it was. So for a person to take from both, it's very rare. And now the Sufis are doing it, like I'm translating Sachal. Even he takes from Vedanta, and he takes from Islam. And of course, they have their own Sufism, which has also the many things in it. It's certainly beyond the scope of this talk. But definitely to see these two, in today's time, to see these two religions have a common talking point is a big thing. And we are talking about that time.
300 years back, yes.
So it's just amazing. And at this point, I want to say, okay, so he authored a major work called Shahjo Risalo.
Okay.
Which has many times been described as one long firak or separation. You know, firak, we've seen the film, the separation from God. And it is a cry for the beloved. Many titles that I read, they call it the cry for the beloved. And definitely it is. But what I have started my introduction to tell you is it's more than that.
Yeah.
Like, why did I want you to mention Vedanta? Because it's definitely more than my personal seeking for the beloved as a human being.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no social function really, but as poets, we are influenced by our environment. And definitely his boldness in putting it there. It wasn't easy. So I've often thought about this.
Yes.
Anyway, so he, you know, the Shahjo Risalo, the one we use, the original text is by Kalyan Advani. Now, Kalyan Advani is a huge scholar, big scholar, well respected. I'm sure most listeners know about Kalyan Advani. And of course, he got all kinds of awards, the Padma Shri and whatnot. But that notwithstanding, he was really an amazing person. I had a chance to meet Motwani, and he used to tell me a lot about them. So I was fortunate to meet people like Motwani in Delhi and other people who spoke to me about it.
Yes.
Okay. Now the Risala was preserved at the Mausoleum of the same poet. This is important. In 1754. So the Risala was preserved at the Mausoleum of the same poet in 1754, way back. Later, the scholars Ernest Trump, who's done a lot of work on Shah Latif, published it in Germany in 1866. Subsequently, there was a Mausoleum edition, which has been in the British Museum since 1844. So now, of course, he's, you know, it's really quite well known. And of course, there are maybe not as many translations as we see of Kabir and other poets, which I would really like to see of Shah Abdul Latif.
Yes.
And there is scope for something different, because what we saw in the earliest translations, they were very flowery and literal. But now, as they say, personality of the translator must also come true.
Yeah.
Not because he wants to, but that is the honest way. You
Yes.
know, so we relate with the poet, we transcreate, and if that comes true, then we are happy that we also have understood.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a huge introduction in the book.
Yeah.
For those who have a copy of it, you can read it.
Yeah.
It's right in the beginning.
Yeah, I must say that book is very beautifully produced. I got a hardback which is beautiful, and it has got a glossary at the end, which is also helpful for people to find the meaning of some difficult words that are there, RA and so on. So I loved that having glossary in the end of various words explained. It's Roman Sindhi, but then it explains in English the meaning, which is a great thing. So yes, Anju, over to you about any readings you want to do from Risalo, or anyone you want to say anything more about Risalo?
I'll say a bit about Shah Latif's life.
Okay, yes.
Because it's always interesting to know just a few anecdotes.
Yeah.
And some that stayed with me and that I mentioned in the book are, I'll talk about the folk tales later, which everybody knows was a great, huge section in this book, is a great section in this book. And how did he get into those folk tales? Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Now, we know folk tales about Sasui Purp, Humal Rano, and all those have been told and retold so many times. But Shah Latif had gone with his father to treat a lady. Those days, the ladies were all covered fully. So then, Shah Latif wanted to check something in the hand. So he asked her to take out the hand.
Yeah.
And then he saw her finger. That's all he saw. And he fell in love. And he took a finger and he said, this is just a little anecdote, but it makes him human also like us. And he said, one whose finger is in the Sayyid's hand, need fear no fall. That's all, which is nothing. But of course, everybody was angry and he was sent away for being so open and expressing himself.
Yeah.
So dejected, poor Shah Latif started wandering with the yogis.
Right.
So we forget that these great people are also human.
Human
That's
beings.
why
Yes. No, that's a lovely story, isn't it? Just Sindhi word use kala hai chicha. Little finger that he saw of the woman, he got effectively instant love at first sight, but fingers kisi kare. Yeah, sentimentality ya shair hai ji.
Okay, so we continue very smoothly again.
Yeah.
So what he did was he left Kotri and he went with the yogis. And there are quite a few chapters in Risalo about the yogis.
Yeah.
And he wandered with them at Rajasthan and Gujarat. And that's where he found all these tales.
Yes.
Mumal Rano, this and that, because they're part of our Indian folklore.
Yes.
And 3 years he went around the yogis. And then those gave rise to the beautiful folk tales. We will read a bit, but basically they were spiritual allegories.
Yeah.
In other words, he was not just writing a folk tale. He was showing us what are the qualities needed through the folk tales, like dedication, like hard work, whatever. I mean, even interesting, non boring ones, to find the divine and to unite with the divine.
Yes.
So that is the genius of the man, a simple thing. Because he made it into a spiritual allegory.
Yes.
Which will always remember that he was one who started it. At least in Sindhi, I haven't come across too many doing it that effectively. Others mention it, but somehow it doesn't work.
Yeah, so he uses the folk tales as vehicles for a spiritual message. He describes relation between seeker and sought through the stories, but also presents, we will see in poetry, some difficulties that a spiritual journey entails.
Lot of it, yeah.
Could read some poems.
Yeah. And something right at the beginning, because like in so many religious texts, it's a prayer.
Yes.
So Kalyan is a prayer in a way, not the whole surah, but just the first one. Without beginning, without end, all-knowing monarch of the universe, omnipotent and benevolent, the one and only Lord. Utter his name, sing his praises, the ever compassionate creator of the cosmos. So this is our prayer jointly as well.
Yes.
Not only Shah Latif, but I think all of us feel this of being omnipotent and benevolent, things like that.
And use the word compassionate also. You have beautifully translated the sentiment of compassion.
Yeah. I don't know how much exists, nevertheless. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you all are familiar with Sufi symbols, but Shah Latif, right in the beginning, in the first verse, he has many Sufi symbols. Now, the one that is most popular is chopping off your head,
Yes.
which refers to chopping off your ego. Sindhi mein kya, I don't know.
Ahankar, aham.
Yeah.
Penjo aham mario, abhaman mario.
So, now why did they get the imagery of chopping the head? Because of the gallows. We always use imagery as poets to what we see around, right? So instead of talking more, I'll read. It'll come to it. Listen, ignorant one, neither lover nor beloved, neither creator nor creation is he. This secret disclosed to seekers of perfection. The Lord reflects his own image, becomes his own beloved, embraces his own creation. He is that, this, life, death, friend, enemy, breath of breath is he. One palace, numerous doors, as many windows. I see you everywhere. I see you everywhere in so many ways. How should I describe your countless manifestations? How should I describe your countless manifestations, my Lord? So as I said, there are many Sufi symbols, and partly because of the gallows were there, and there was always the image of cutting off the head, the ego. So here's one. Will you follow me to the gallows, my friend? The gallows await those who seek the beloved. If your love is true, first cut off your head. Lover, do not return till you are beheaded. See them celebrate at the gallows, an inspiring sight. Why hesitate? Why break your vows with love? Come, come, be butchered.
Be butchered. Wow.
Come, be butchered. Up on the scaffold, lovers do not quiver. Behold, eyes meet, gallows turn into garlands.
Yes, फांसी हार में बदलजी थी वञे फाही जंहिंखे चइबो आहे फांसी फांसीअ जो फंदो उहो हिकु हार में बदिलजी थो वञे आशिक़ जे लाइ जॾहिं हू वञे थो पंहिंजे प्रभुअ जे ॻोल्हा में ऐं उन जे प्यार में.
Then of course there are many symbols. I'll give you just one more dagger one. Why blame the dagger? Why blame the dagger when the butcher holds the hammer?
Yes.
The beloved's behavior causes even steel to quiver. Lovers are transformed. Just bold poetry.
Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it?
I pray for the dagger to be blunt. I pray for the dagger to be blunt. Why? Let it linger a little bit longer in the beloved's hand.
Wow.
Let it linger a little longer in the beloved's hand. Butcher, possessor of daggers, I hunt you out. In love's slaughterhouse, I place my head on the block. Chop me to pieces, my lord.
Wow.
Then I think I'll skip this. There's also the tavern, the wine image, which is very popular. There's a lot about it. Just read one verse to give an idea of the image.
Sure.
Because right from you go from the earliest Sufi poetry, there's a lot of imagery about going to the wine. If you want love, go to the tavern. Cut the head, put it in the barrel. Drink brave one, drown in the draught. Or draft, if you're American. Drown in the draft.
It's very Rumi type of poetry. Rumi jo bhi unna mein dato asar aahe.
A lot of wine imagery there.
Yes.
And we don't see that much in Shah Latif or even Satchel, I find. Not that much. But it is there. It is there. Because I mean, these areas were so well connected in those days. Nobody thought Persia udhar hai, or India idhar hai, or Pakistan idhar hai.
It was a one flow of Sufis flowed in the river of love, and wherever river went, they went with that flow.
And it's just so shocking to see the way they treat them now, that destroy the nation. What is the beautiful culture that goes with it? People are not maintaining a historical sense. Anyway, back to this. Cut the head, place it in the barrel. Drink brave one, drown in the draught. This lethal drink is cheap in exchange for the head. And the last one in the series, just one sip of that priceless wine. For just one sip, they sacrifice life.
Wow, हिक सिप जे लाइ माना आशिक खे बस वो हिक मोमेंटरी भी मिली तो वञे दर्शन उन ईश्वर जो त उन लाइ काफ़ी आहे पंहिंजो ईगो जो सॼी कुर्बानी ॾियणु मां भी कोशिश कयां थो अंजू I'll read couple of shares in Sindhi.
I was going to ask you to do that.
Yeah, let me read and also show it on the screen how our beautiful Sindhi script is both in Devanagari and Arabic. So I hope you can see that on the screen. ही आहे शाह जो रसालो जेको कल्याण आडवाणी ट्रांसलेट कयो आहे उन मां सिर्फ़ मां ॿ ई खयूं आहिनि ऐं ही जेको पहिरियों आहे बैत 11 नंबर आहे शायदि दास्तान पहिरें में ई आहे त बैत नंबर 11 आहे जेको ऑलरेडी अंजू हैज़ रेड दिस इन इंग्लिश वहदतां कसरत थी कसरत वहदत कुल वहदतां कसरत थी कसरत वहदत कुल हक़ हक़ीक़ी हिकिड़ो ॿोलीअ ॿीअ मां भुल हू हला चो हल बालह संदो सजणी and हिन में चए थो भई वहदत हिक मां मैनी थिया one many became from one and one from many and truth is only one ॿोलीअ ॿीअ मां भुल don't talk of any other language don't say anything else it is only one हू हलाचल हल बाल संदो सजणे माना जेको सभिनी खे संभाले थो प्यार करे थो उहो हिकिड़ो ई आहे सच सॼो हिकिड़ो ई आहे ऐं सेकंड वन आई एम रीडिंग हियर इज़ जेको अगेन अंजू यू रेड दिस एक कसर दर लख कोड़ी कणस गिड़खियूं जेॾांहुं करियां परख तेॾांहुं साहिब साम्हूं हिन में जेको एक कसर आहे माना कसर माना पैलेस and there are lakha it has many doors कोड़े कणस गिड़खियूं माना दरियूं windows so हिकु महल उन में लखे दरवाजा करोड़े खिड़कियूं जेॾांहुं करियां परख wherever I look तेॾांहुं साहिब साम्हूं एक कसर दर लख कोड़े कणस गिड़खियूं one palace hundreds of thousands of doors and windows wherever I look I find you my lord त ही जेको आहे ख़ूबसूरत वर्णन कयो आहे शाह पंहिंजे तसवुर में हिकु ईश्वर खे हिकु चए थो भई वेठो आहियां मां महल में जहिड़े पासे ॾिसां उते सची सच आहे जिते मां ॾिसां उते पाण ई वेठो आहे so that is his imagination again and before we move further in you reading it will be useful for me to understand for listeners what kind of journey it was to produce the book. You talked a little bit about compilation. but I think it's a beautifully produced book, and how it has been received, composition, and you said it is being printed. कोई challenges आयूं, कोई difficulties आयूं?
What surprised me is that difficulties are always there in everything.
Yeah.
But what surprised me that when I sent it to, those days we didn't have agents and all that. 20 years now, there are a lot of agents, and there's a lot of translation is very big. You know, from translations are all over the world and things like that. So when I sent it to the publishers by myself, a letter without a literary agent, so I got a response from Oxford as well, and Katha, and a few others. And the reason well, obviously people say go with Oxford. But the reason I did not is they were taking 2 years.
Right.
That was too long a time. I didn't want to. And of course, Dilgir also didn't want to wait. I communicated with him all the time. And then Katha was bringing it out very quickly. And at that time, they were really quite influential and quite big. Now, due to various factors, they're not that big, but they're keeping it alive.
Right.
So it came out quite well. It got the award, and of course, I was happy for that. It went so smoothly. But what has really been a biggest handicap for me is they are not making it available internationally.
Right.
Katha.
Right.
I do get inquiries from all over the world saying how to order it.
Yeah.
And now they say that people who write to us, we will send it, and we have the postage and all for them. So you can write to Katha directly, New Delhi. You can Google Katha, and it's well known.
Yeah.
But that was important that it should have been marketed internationally.
Also.
Which
Because there would have been many more readers of the book and would have benefited and loved that book internationally.
2 months back, they had issued another edition, which is with me here. You don't have that. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Which is not fully hardcover and not fully softcover. It's sort of a mid in between, but a good edition.
Yeah.
No changes. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't been updating the introduction unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So it is there. And that they say they will market it nationally. But whether they do or not, many people have been buying directly from me, and they have relatives who can order from Amazon so easily.
Yes, I
It's
picked up when
available-
I traveled to India. I buy that in India and brought it back.
Yeah, but so now it's available so easy, Amazon.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they ask me to Katha, or you can
Yeah.
get it directly from Amazon. So they
So-
tell their relatives.
So it was distribution challenge rather than any other challenge. Distribution
Yeah, but
internationally. Yes.
That's a major challenge because unless a book is well distributed,
Yeah.
it doesn't find that.
Yeah.
But luckily, this surprised me to one final small thing is that at Diwali, I often get orders of 50 copies. People who are traveling abroad have ordered 50 copies. In the past, 100 copies they want to give to people as gifts.
Wow.
So that is very heartening.
Very nice. So yeah, let us go now to further reading. Anju, you wanted to read Yaman Kalyan few poems?
Yaman Kalyan. Alif is the beginning. Okay, there is a very short story. I'll make it very short. Then Shah Latif was in school. He said he will not go beyond the word Alif, letter
Right.
Alif. People, why? He said because Alif stands for Allah.
Alif
Then
stands
later
for
on-
Allah.
Yeah, this came as poetry.
Yeah.
Alif is the beginning, Alif is the end. Why recite anything else? I cannot proceed beyond the first line. Even this lesson not yet mastered. You alone are everything. Nothing else really matters. This is interesting too. It's very relevant today. More
Yeah.
they read, less they know. More they read, less they know.
less they know. Okay.
More pages turned, more sins committed.
Yes.
More
Again,
pages
please read
turned.
that again. More they read, more less they know.
More pages turned, more sins committed.
More pages turned, more sins committed. Right.
You know who is referring to.
जेतरा वर्क वराए उतरा पाप वध्या. Wow.
And he says directly now, A glimpse of the beloved is better than fasts and prayers.
Yes.
One glimpse of the beloved is better than fasts and prayers. Katib, why write so many pages? The source of all knowledge is just one letter.
Alif.
Why these places of worship? Why this constant fasting? Know the alak within. Alak is one who cannot be perceived by the senses. Alak, how do you say in Sindhi?
Yeah, alak.
Alak.
हाँ, देखो लिखी न सकजे जिनके बारे में लिखी न सकजे.
Yeah. Know the alak within. He is everywhere.
Yes, it's beyond description, because that's the metaphor of beyond description.
So quickly we move to another one where again he is pretty hard hitting. Don't think that the Sufis were not hard hitting. As you know that Mansoor, he said, I am God. I am God, and you know what happened to him? He was killed to death.
Yes.
Stoned to death or something, stoned to death. So he says, reciting the Kalma are the holy verses. Reciting the Kalma, there is no mark of real faith. Where deceit and ego lurk, I was very scared to use this word, I used it. Where deceit and ego lurk, outwardly a Muslim, inwardly a fake. The reason I use because he's criticized everybody, not just one.
Yes, he's criticizing all blind faith and fake ritualism and all that. Yes.
So right after that he writes, you cease to be a true kafir, non-believer. Refrain from calling yourself one. Refrain from it. Unfit for janyo and tilak. उसको भी करा है, सबको करा है.
हाँ, जनेऊ है, तिलक भी कम जो कौन है, जे में वो. हाँ.
You are not even a true Hindu.
हाँ.
Because he spoke openly against both, I put it there.
Yes.
A face like Moses, in truth a devil. Wretched one, why not drop the mask? There's too much of it.
हाँ, he ॾाढी माना बिल्कुल बेड्रप थी करे दड़का तो ॾे पियो भाई जे कोई ॾेखाव था कयो पिया रिलीजन जो प्रैक्टिसिस में विर्त था रखो ऐं मंत्र था पढ़ो जप था कयो पर जेकॾहिं सच्चाई मन में कोन्हे त पोइ कहिड़े कम जा तव्हां धार्मिक माण्हू थियो त उहो हिकु वॾी चमाट थो हणे उन्हनि खे उन ज़माने में बि ऐं अॼु त ऑब्वियसली उहो घणो थो लागू थिए पियो.
And not only that, I mean, the Sufis have always been against idol worship and all that.
Yes, Sufis have been very irreverent. They just say we have direct connection with truth and I don't want any intermediaries and all that. Which is what Vedantis do actually. Yeah,
Vedanta says direct connection with God.
Yes, that because there is a Sanskrit Mahavakya, Tattvamasmi, Aham Brahmasmi.
Yeah, that thou art. That's it.
Yeah.
But what is all you are dancing around for?
Yes.
I'll end this part with only one because there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
And if you have the book, it's on page 118, 119. Yeah. Now I'll be reading 119, which is just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
He's criticizing everybody, not with intention, not with malice, but with truth. Those who make their body a rosary. Those who make their body a rosary, mind a beat, heart a musical instrument, hear songs of love. God is one, God is infinite. Even in sleep, they remain awake. Okay, now almost I think the last part of the book, all the folk tales are so interesting the way he has portrayed them. From Mumal Rano to all of them. He's not made it obvious.
Yeah, Leela Chanesar, Mumal Rano, Sasui, yeah.
Sab kare. But his favorite was Sasui Puno. How do I know? Because why do I feel? Because this whole last part has got 4 chapters on Sasui Puno. So it is very interesting. He gave it so much more emphasis.
Yes.
Of course, there is about the Nuri and the fisherwoman, and there is about the whole. The sea also plays a very important part in some chapters because as we know, Sindh it was very connected to all that businessmen went by sea. That is also there, but we have limited time. So
Yeah.
now, in this spiritual allegory, which is a very common word, spiritual allegory, you explained that Sasui the seeker and Punu is the beloved of God, if you like.
Yeah.
They have many setbacks. Like he's kidnapped at night by his brothers, and she was asleep, and then she went chasing, and she went following him to find him, and crossed many mountains. A whole thing about catch and all that. Then she came across the shepherd, and then he dug he prayed, and she prayed, and the earth split open, and she went in, and finally Punu started to follow her. He also found her in that little
Yes.
place, and then like the buried, he had buried her inside, or he had gone inside by God's grace, and he also went there, and they were united in love.
Yes.
Now, as with any folk tales, it doesn't matter if it's true or not, because they keep on undergoing change, and I'm sure this poetry has undergone so much change,
Yes.
and will keep on. That's
Yes.
fine, as long as the sense is there.
Yes.
So that is a story which I think everybody knows. I think the main takeaway from this is Shah Latif, teaches us many lessons about spiritual growth and development. Main thing, there are many hurdles to cross.
Yes,
you,
many
the
hurdles
seeker,
to cross. Yes.
You, the seeker, better be prepared. We all know spiritual development is not a piece of cake. We get up in the morning with 100 resolutions. We sleep with regretting 95 of them that we've not done.
Yes.
So unless there is a grace or a blessing, I don't think it's even possible for humans to achieve that.
Yeah.
And it's nice to tie it to our present situation. It's fine to say, okay, they did that, but that was a different time, and the human being has changed.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
Anyway, so I will start with the chapter. I will not start in the beginning. It's very long, and I don't think I can always come back to read it if you like. But the last chapter, Sur Abri, for those who have the books, 257. So in case you have recited in Sindhi also.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of dramatic verse here. And as a playwright, I'm a playwright, as you know, I do enjoy dramatic verse. And the beauty of Shah Latif is, not does he tells us folk tales, but he does it in dramatic verse.
Yeah.
I have not come across many poets who do this. Well, they were the British traditional poets, but he's taken chapter after chapter describing the journey in Sasui's voice also.
Yeah.
To use that dramatic verse is not very easy.
Yeah.
And especially for translators, it becomes increasingly difficult. But since I enjoy it so much, and my own poetry is in dramatic verse, and maybe a playwright in verse, plays in verse.
Yeah.
So here it is. So Abri, as I said, is 257.
Yeah.
Be it the beginning or the end, proceed I must. God, let not love's labor be lost. Now, who is speaking this?
Is it Punu or Susui?
Sasui. Punu to chale gaya.
Okay.
Punu bhi aa gaya. He doesn't take. And the other interesting thing, he always takes the female's voice.
Yes.
That is a good feature. Mumal Rano maybe.
Mumal ye baat chawadi sab. Ha.
Or it can be a neutral voice. Where Shah Latif comments himself on the situation.
Yes.
So you have quite. When I had readings in Bombay, I got some actors to do it, and then they were talking like Sasui. So I didn't have to say it was his voice.
Yeah.
So it was, Shah Latif says.
Yes.
Okay. Now this Shah Latif says, overwhelmed by bouts of pain, Sasui crushes pain itself. Punu's memory haunts. Like a true lover, she dies 100 deaths.
How?
Love suffocates. Sasui does not retreat. Love suffocates. Saswi does not retreat. She drinks the nectar, her thirst remains unquenched. More she drinks, the more she thirsts. More she drinks, the more she thirsts. But we understand that now, no? More she drinks, more she
हा जेतिरो पीए थी वधीक उञ थी लॻे पई एक्चुअली मां बि वॉइस लेट कई आहे हिकिड़ी पोएम या
You have written one?
No, this one from Shah only. In the my micro ahe. It is I can show it to viewers. जंहिंमें लिखियलु आहे भई मुहबत जिन जे मन में तिन तिशंगी तार पे प्यालो उञ जो उञ से उञ उथार पुनू पाण प्यार त उञ से उञ उझाया त हे चए थी उञ सां उञ उझाया थर्स्ट quench the thirst with thirst and drink the प्यालो उञ जो drink the bowl of thirst ऐं मोहब्बत जिन जे मन में तिन तिशंगी तार what you are saying by it's unquenchable thirst that is what they say that the one who is in love their thirst is unquenchable. Tin tishangi tar, jeko tishangi mana it is when you see a reflection in sand of sunlight and you think it's water. So that's the metaphor he's using. Tan tishangi tar, piye pyalo unya jo, unya se unya uthyar, punu pan pyar, ta unya se unya ujhaya. Mana unya sa unya ke quench kya, thirst to be quenched with thirst.
Yeah. It's coming up now. That verse is coming.
Okay.
One who drinks from the brook of beauty, one who drinks from the brook of beauty gets drunk with intense pain. Look at the opposite. Even in midstream, the thirst remains. And this is human love, not necessarily spiritual love. All these factors are human love, and that's why he made it so that we as human understand human love.
Yeah.
But when it becomes applicable, then through that we understand spiritual love. It's not so difficult.
Yes.
Like human beings may be jealous. Now he has not mentioned that, but there are instances. I think in I'm right in the middle of it, and it's very, very hard because there are many vague translations floating around, vague interpretations. I found Shah Latif was more organized in the Risalo, and there are a lot of things floating. So after reading those, and every person who followed Sachal has his own personal interpretations. So I thought better that I go to Kalyan Advani, since he was so straight with Shah Latif and respected, of course. So we went back after starting, others went back to it also. Anyway, I'll tell you in the end little. Those were the challenges sometimes if you have confidence in the original text also.
Yes.
Not confident. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, something you feel right. Of course, you have to choose and select, as we did. And, working to your old question, what are the challenges? Challenges are quite a few. What do you leave out? What do you include? Who are you to do that? Who are you not? I think the book is already quite fat. Yes. So that also determines. Now Saswi speaks. She says, drink another cup. Let the thirst escalate. Give me a cupful of thirst with your own hands, Punu. Let me quench my thirst with thirst. You just read that. Let me quench my thirst with thirst.
Let me quench my thirst with thirst.
Yeah, you read it in another way.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Which certainly was musical, but this I hope has its own music.
Yes.
That was the aim was in the translation, to have its own music in the English language.
Yes.
Rather than trying to copy his alliterations, which are beautiful.
Yes.
So that was all avoided because the earlier versions had very flowery languages. It was not sounding right in English.
Yeah.
Living on the river bank, this is connected. Living on the river bank, dunces die of thirst. God is everywhere. Dunces die of thirst. Closer than the beloved is their breath. Living on the river bank, dunces die of thirst. Closer than the beloved is their breath. Or should it be closer than the breath is a beloved? I would prefer that. Yet the ignorant wail. Yet the ignorant wail like fools. भगवान आ जाओ बोलते तुम्हारे breath ही है ना.
हाँ, नदी जे किनारे ते वेही करे भी नदीअ जे किनारे ते वेही करे भी प्यासा मरी था वञनि.
Yeah, I'll just change that. Yeah. And this is a very famous one. I think many of people have sung it, repeated it. Let death come. Let death come. Let Mother, I will not return home. I'll perish following his footprints.
Yeah.
Punu's footprints. You know, she was always following his footprints up the mountain.
Yeah.
Diving deep within, I conversed with him. Diving deep within, I conversed with him. No mountains to cross. No need to reach catch. I myself was Punu. Vedanta and God. I myself was Punu. Only as Sasui did I feel grief.
हाँ, जेसिताईं पाण खे ससुई पई सम्झे त उनखे दुख थिए पियो, पर once she realized that she is herself Punu, there is no dukh, no sukh. It's such a beautiful thought that comes around so much in so many beautiful poetry of even Bhakti Sangeet, you know, in Meera's music, in Meera's poetry you find, you know, that she becomes herself Krishna while remembering Krishna and so on. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that is the ultimate union.
Yes.
Where there is no division. Where there is no division. We are so divided that we have to struggle for unity.
Yes, yes. देखो आहे.
Divided. Everything is divided only.
हाँ, इन खां पहिरीं वारी poem में you said that he's as close as breath. So पंहिंजो साहु आहे उन खां वेझो त कुझु विझियो त कुझु आहे कोन, तंहिं हूंदे बि असां उनखे ॿाहिरि ॻोल्हियूं वेठा.
Yeah, because we don't see it that way, no?
Yeah,
in fact, the publisher has used this as the, and I'll read, that's the last verse now. I'll be reading.
Sure.
Only as Sasui did I feel grief. We've discussed that. A veil, it was a screen. She herself became Punu, says Latif. She took the journey heroically, crossed Vindur, here and now. And Sasui said, I lost myself, I found him. I lost myself, I found him. I was Punu. All knowledge is futile. Such delusions one suffers until you meet him. Last one. Why search everywhere? Nearer than your breath is he. They say in your heart, no? Why search everywhere? Nearer than your breath is he. Just remove the screen between you and him.
Your absolutely Vedantic interpretation आहे जेको सूफिज़म में अचे थो भई उहो साह खां बि वेझो आहे, उनखे किथे ॿाहिरि पिया था ॻोल्हियो ऐं पंहिंजी जेका इहा पर्दो आहे पर्दो हटायो, and there is nothing between you and him. You are that and he is you. So Anju, it has been such wonderful to listen to this great poetry from your own in your own voice and your own translation with Hari Dilgir. I hope that listeners and viewers would really be inspired to read more in this beautiful book, which, as Anju said, has been going on for 20 odd years, which itself shows love people have showered on your translation. And I hope more people read. And importantly, I think, Anju, you've been saying the relevance of Sufi thought and Vedantic thought is undivided oneness of us as not just human beings, but as whole kainat चइबी आहे न भई हिकु आहे सॼो, the whole thing is connected. त उहो unity में असांखे unity जे बदिरां division पियो ॾिसण अचे सभिनी जॻहनि ते. त I hope in these divisive times this Sufi poetry which you are making accessible for people brings the message of love and oneness and compassion back in the life of those who are missing out on this wonderful heritage. It is not just heritage of Sindhi language or culture, but is also global human heritage that the great poets have left for us. So Anju, thank you for bringing this to life in the contemporary times. And it has been pleasure talking to you. Thank you for talking to Sindhi Boli Otaka. तव्हांजी वॾी महिरबानी.
Thank you.
तन मेला सो मन मेला, ओ तन मेला सो मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, ओ तन मेला सो मन मेला, तन मेला सो मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन में अला। वहरे कारीगर साज बनाए, वहरे कारीगर साज बनाए, कुन फाया कुंजे कुन मेला, कुन फाया कुंजे कुन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, तन मेला सो मन मेला, तन मेला सो मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन मेला, महबूब गुलहेदस मन में अला।